So the first idea is what you use if you don't have a brush pen, but you still want to get that calligraphy effect that you desire. So this is basically Fox calligraphy, and basically what you do is you do cursive and then you just widen the downstrokes and color them in, as you can see that I'm doing right now, to get that effect that you would like. So the second idea you can say is when you want to pimp things up, and basically this is Fox calligraphy, except it has a different color as the one in downstroke, and I can't explain things properly, so this is kind of a hot mess, but you can sort of see what I'm doing. So I'm going in with that Crayola super tip, and that just makes it have a different effect than usual because fonts are all about uniqueness. So the next thing may take some practice, and that is if you do have a brush pen and you want to do calligraphy with it. So I'm not the best at this, but I'm trying and I'm still practicing, but that's just to get your calligraphy effect. So the next one is pretty simple. It's basically just your word, except it has a straight line connecting it to another straight line, the invisible line. I don't make sense, I'm sorry. Okay, so this font is when you have an ombre or just like regular calligraphy with a marker, but you want to stand out more. So you create an ombre when you have like a light color to dark color, and you can see me applying the dark color right now. And you don't want to color the whole thing, you just want to do like half of it. And to make it stand out, you use like a black or any color actually outline to make it look more like visually there. Okay, yeah. So the next thing is very similar, and that's if you have like a darker ombre to achieve and you don't need that line around it. And you can see me writing the word prelude, and that is just layering colors. And although this may be like a very extreme color variance, but I find that it still makes a good combo in the end. So the next thing I have is one of my favorites, and since I take notes and in headers I don't want things to take so long, so all I write is the topic in capital letters, and then I take a highlighter, and you can see me using a zebra mile liner in this case to just draw a band of a color, and that's also good for color coding, which I find super helpful. And I feel like this is very minimalistic, but yet it also brings a nice font to your notes, and you can use it for anything, but I'm just going to say notes for this case. So over here you can see me going back to the Fox calligraphy, but this is when you want your calligraphy to have a more unique touch, and that is to add a gold drop shadow, which I find extremely helpful, and I do it all the time in my bullet journal. So over here you can see me struggling on how to use the fat side of a zebra mile liner. So this is like a font. When you use like the broad tip of a highlighter, you can use any highlighter. I'm not saying that you have to use a zebra mile liner, but I'm just using this in this case, so I'm just writing the words in capital letters. And what I plan to do is to outline it just like I did with the trill word, and that would create like it to be more bold. And yes, I'm messing up a lot in this, I apologize. So over here is like a more font, like you may have seen it before, but that's to draw like box shape for like the downstroke, and it's not connected like calligraphy is. And I find that this is a great way to pimp up your like lettering, which because everybody uses like calligraphy for like their fonts, but sometimes it's good to have like this variance in what you do and not just calligraphy. So now you can see me filling it in with a different marker, and it just makes it look nice. Okay, so over here I warn you, this does not have a very good effect on what I'm showing you, and I'm really sorry for that. So over here, what's intended is that you use like a white pen. I'm using a Uniball Signal to write it over like a dark surface, but my Uniball Signal clogged at the wrong time, so that was not exactly good, but it's still nice. So what I'm doing is similar to the Allegro word, except I'm making it more like fancy type, and I'm just like drawing like little lines where the thing ends. I can't explain, but you can sort of see again. And to fill in, instead of another color, I'm just doing a scribble method. And this is actually one of my most favorite ones because it really adds a nice touch to it. So here's very simple. So if you like want subheadings in your notes, then you can just write it in like your color that you're doing for your notes, like color coding. And I just find that this is really helpful, so I decided to add that in there. So you may have already seen this one, and that is like when you use a colored marker and then you use like a black pen to just write it in like cursive, where, okay, so you can sort of see it, but it's like using like cursive to go over that line. So I call it the double font. It's not very professional. So over here you can see me using another brush pen. By the way, these are the Tombows. You may have seen them before. And over here you're going to see me try to attempt to use the uniball signal again. It stopped clogging a bit, but you can still see the railroad marks. But you can see me just like adding those white highlights, which I find extremely amazing, and it just pimps things up so more. So even though this next font may be very similar to the ones we've done before, but as I said, you kind of want different fonts when you do things to make it more visually appealing. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking like a regular marker. Again, I'm using the zebra modeliner in this case, and I'm just making this like stripe pattern inside. So that is different. These are getting more unique as we go. Okay, so over here is a good example of a header. Like I'm just drawing foliage at the endings of the word that I'm doing, and that really makes a nice effect on bringing everything all together instead of just doing cursive. So the next thing I'm doing is, okay, the most unique out of all of these, and that is to just use like a highlighter or basically like a marker to just draw stripes and writing the word on top, which sort of makes it more unique, which I find useful because I really do strive for uniqueness in fonts. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.